How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Crypto is falling a little bit right now, with Bitcoin going down to about 61,000. And I realize some people will be annoyed at me for saying that's even falling because this isn't that big a deal. And that's true, right? This is not a big deal. We've been in this range before, but I want to explain why this is falling. And there are newer people that are wondering, okay, why did we just move up to 63,000? It looked like we were going to keep on moving up a couple days ago and we're at 65,000, 66,000. Why are people bullish when we're falling down? What should we be paying attention to? I'm going to cover that in today's video. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. If you want, there is a link to Margex underneath the video. We're about to do an airdrop. We're about to do an airdrop for people that trade over on Margex. So if you want to sign up now, you can get yourself situated on there. You can deposit, you can get used to trading on the platform, and then you can be ready for this airdrop. There's also a link to CoinW as well underneath the video. In case you want to try that out, we have a bonus right now. So if you deposit 100 USDT or more and you place a futures trade, you can win 100 USDT to trade with. So definitely check this out underneath the video as well. You can trade futures there, or you can trade spot over on CoinW. Now, I do want to say a little bit of housekeeping. Be careful of scammers. There are more scammers now on Twitter, and they're not just on Twitter. There are a bunch of scammers over on YouTube now. Someone just sent me 4 different channels, and they put different titles in, different thumbnails in, and then they just have this deep fake of me talking about some Amazon cryptocurrency, which is obviously a scam for anyone that's been around for a while. But I looked at the comments and there are some people saying, oh, I thought this guy was reputable. I guess he's a scammer, or maybe he's in on it too. I'm not trying to get you to go buy some Amazon fake coin. They're all the videos are exactly the same with different titles and thumbnails. The unfortunate thing is people are still falling for this, and that's why they continue to pop up, because people continue to click on them and send money or buy the token, log into the website, connect their wallet. Don't do that. Be careful out there. I'm not gonna create a second channel where I start talking about Amazon, right? So definitely be careful out there. But let's get into it. So we have Bitcoin falling right now. You know, we see something very classic. You can probably tell by the shape of this what's happening. But first I want to go over some of the news. Some of the news that doesn't have to do with why we're falling right now, but is actually good. Private jet charter service, Candy Jets, now accepts Bitcoin Lightning payments. So really wealthy people can go send them a bunch of money and charter their private jets. We also have Japanese public company Metaplanet buying an additional 19.87 Bitcoin. The company now holds 117.7 Bitcoin, worth about $7.4 million. Now, this is the company that Dylan LeClaire recently joined, and they are going to continue to buy Bitcoin. They're kind of like a mini MicroStrategy at this point. They're going to continue to buy, and it seems like they're going to continue to post about their buying of Bitcoin. They're going to have a Bitcoin treasury, which is cool to see. And we continue to see more companies do this as well. I've talked about several different meat companies, butchers in the US that have started to do this, have put their treasury in Bitcoin. I'm actually talking with one of them right now. I'm trying out some of their meat in the next week. We'll see how good it is. And then maybe I'll talk about it on the channel to give like a little review on it or something. But maybe we can give you guys some discounts on meat too. You can also pay in Bitcoin for some of these different meats, which I'm not doing. I'm not giving away my precious Bitcoin, but they're accepting Bitcoin, and some of them are, putting their treasury in Bitcoin, which is cool as well. So another thing we have to cover is the outflows. The ETFs had outflows yesterday. BlackRock had an inflow of 14 million, Fidelity 3 million in, ARK 5 million in. So overall, it was an inflow day except for GBTC. They had a larger outflow than they've experienced in about a week, about 43 million, which had a net negative 11 million coming out of the outflows. Now, without GBTC, it would have been a positive 32 million, but again, with GBTC, it's negative 11. So is that what's pushing down the market right now? No. As you can see, if you've been around the market for a while, you can tell what this is. It is someone selling initially, causing the price to go down, and then liquidations happening. It's a liquidation cascade. As you can see here, there have been about $86 million worth of longs liquidated. Just a few minutes ago, I looked and it was $60 million worth of longs liquidated. So yeah, that's what's happening right now. People just getting too aggressive. I do talk about leverage trading. I do think that can be used in a way that can help amplify returns. But yeah, that's a risk, especially if you go high leverage. If you're 50x, 100x, you can get liquidated pretty quickly. So that is what's happening here. But what happens a lot of the time is people get faked out. We have this liquidation cascade, and then the people that sold originally to cause us buy back in and push it back up, or they go long and make some more money there. So you have to be careful when you go super aggressive long like that, because you can lose some money when you're doing that. But overall, I don't think it's something to be concerned about. Now, what am I watching? Well, a couple different key levels. Obviously, this line is something that we've been playing with for a long time. On the daily, I don't think it's as good on the daily. Let's show it on the hourly. We started to fall down, got rejected by this line here, got rejected by it here, got rejected here, broke through it, used it as support, broke below it, broke above it, and now we're sitting right at this line. It's kind of crazy. This line is like a magnet. But I would be watching this line, and then I'd also be watching these other levels that we've hit a couple times. So 60,000, obviously a big round number, and we've fallen right down to it a couple times. Another line that I'd be watching is this 56.5 mark. That is where we fell just a little while ago. And then if we scroll out, let's go back to the daily. If we're going to continue falling down, right, this is what I'm looking at. Now, I think there's a good chance we could go back up, but another line that I'd be kind of watching is this $53,000 mark if we break below 56, just because this is where we saw some previous resistance. Now, on the upside, this is really what I'm watching, the 50-day moving average. You can see right here, it's at about 65,500, and that is right in lockstep with where we previously got rejected. We got rejected short of the 50-day moving average before, but now the 50-day has come down a little bit. So, right, the same level here is at the 50-day moving average. If we start moving up, it would be nice to see a clean break through that. And then also if we can move around above the $67,100 mark, that would be big as well, since that would put in a higher high. Now, I want to jump away from crypto for a second to talk about a stock that I'm invested in. They had a lot of big news recently. Tesla. I know, Tesla. Some people don't want to hear about Tesla, but they had a couple big announcements, and I think it's worth listening to. Elon Musk insinuated that the NAG present in FSD was going to be taken out during 12.4, and then he confirmed this. He confirmed that they are not going to have you have to touch a wheel in FSD 12.4. Now, for anyone that doesn't know about this, you have to touch the wheel every 10 or 30 seconds, but it's not like it has a touchscreen like a phone. It's not like it automatically knows when you touch it. You have to give some pressure. It has to feel some resistance. The problem is sometimes it doesn't feel the resistance right away, and then you go harder, and then you actually pull it too hard, and it disengages FSD, or really, I'm talking about auto steer here is a big thing, because I've used auto steer a lot. I've tried full self-driving now, and it's still present. You still have to keep your hand on the wheel. Every 10 to 30 seconds, it changes. Now that's going to be taken away for FSD. Now, one thing that's big about this is that is kind of an annoying thing that you have to do. I know it sounds like a first world problem, but it is a little bit annoying, because you pull a little bit too hard and it yanks the car, and you pull not hard enough and it doesn't sense you, and that starts beeping. So taking this away, I think, will be a little bit less friction for people to use FSD or to want to buy FSD. And I hate to say this, but they don't upgrade auto steer like they upgrade FSD. FSD continues to get better. Auto steer has a lot of things that are wrong with it that are kind of annoying, that FSD doesn't, right? And it's not because it doesn't turn. Like, if someone turns in front of you, 300 feet in front of you with full self-driving on, or even 100 feet in front of you with full self-driving on, if the car doesn't think you're going to hit it, then it's not going to slow down, right? However, on auto steer, it will slam the brakes on the car, even if it's obvious that they're not going to hit you, that they're moving 30 miles per hour or 20 miles per hour turning and they're 300 feet in front of you, it will stop. It will slow down really fast and then it will slowly speed back up, which is not human-like at all. So I can see some people that get annoyed with this or having to touch a wheel that just go buy FSD for $99 a month, especially with this nag being taken out. Okay, another thing. Oil giant BP is investing heavily into the chargers for Tesla. Recently, last quarter, Tesla said that they weren't going to expand their charging infrastructure as quickly. And people thought, okay, maybe they just feel like they've hit max or hit the amount that they need to hit, especially with a lot of car companies scaling back on the EV transition. But part of this might be because BP is willing to pay them. Now, this is interesting because Tesla doesn't have to pay for the chargers, and they actually get paid. They're going to make money from selling these to BP. And they might also make money over time. Who knows the deal that they work out, but they're expecting to spend $1 billion by 2030. So this gives Tesla more capital either to return to shareholders or to invest in other places, which I think is really beneficial. Also, Tesla was just named the #1 energy storage company in the world from Energy Digital. They had an output of 14.7 GWh, gigawatt hours. Now, this is significant. This was last year. They had this 14.7 gigawatt hours. Now, I had to do a little bit of research because I'm always bad converting these gigawatt hours, kilowatt hours, all that. So how much is a gigawatt hour? It's 1 million kilowatt hours. So they had a significant amount of those, right? They had 14.7 gigawatt hours. So 14.7 million kilowatt hours. What does a kilowatt hour power? Cooking in an oven for 30 minutes, using an iron for 60 minutes, keeping an immersion heater on for 20 minutes, running an electric shower for 6 minutes. Okay, so what they deployed last year could keep an oven on for 839 years. Okay, that's a lot. And remember, that's not like throughout the whole year. That's just like they go store all this energy and then they use it and then they can store it again. So, I mean, the amount of storage that they're making is massive, and they are growing quickly. This last quarter was a slower quarter for them. They only grew 4% in Tesla energy in terms of profit or in terms of revenue, and really in storage deployments. You can see just barely any growth from the year before, but this is the first quarter that's happened. If you look at any other quarter, it's 50 to 100% growth. Just in 2017, they were at 1/20th of where they're at now. So they've been growing this quite quickly, and I expect them to continue growing this in the future as the world needs storage. And the cool thing about this is, like, I kind of think of energy companies, either you're someone that produces energy or you're someone that stores energy. And people that produce energy, they're all different places. They have different strategies for getting energy, right? Coal, solar, wind, hydro, those have a lot of different solutions, right? Depending on where you're at, depending on how people use electricity, but storage is all the same. Storage, you just create something that works really well, that stores a lot of energy, that's cheap, as cheap as possible, that's a good quality product. And it doesn't matter if you're in the desert, it doesn't matter if you're in the Antarctica. Of course, temperature, I'm sure, plays a role in some of that too, but it's generally the same. So this is highly scalable. So Tesla right now is interesting to me. I have bought Tesla in the last couple months. I haven't bought in the last week or so, but I bought ahead of their earnings a bit. And yeah, they did quite well after their earnings as well. Now, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're buying any Bitcoin, any crypto here today. Let me know if you're just sitting out waiting, sitting on your hands. Let me know in the comments section. Again, you can check out the links to MargX and to CoinW, also to Blowfin as well. You can check out Blowfin underneath the video. All have links that give you bonuses. Be careful of the scammers. If you guys want to see a video that I made last night on a bull market guide, some things that you have to be paying attention to, how much you can realistically make in crypto, I'll put it on the end screen. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video.